And if you don't have something with you like a Lulu that can help you put that pressure on constantly, it's hard to make sure you can hit those stacks and take the trades you want to. I think Gio should be able to get out of the laning phase just fine. A pick like Yunara works better here, Valdez, because positioning is paramount and our AD carries are so good at it. As Gideon does have vision control. This barrage, they're going to punish, potentially.
Yeah, excellently done here by the side of Gnomeshim. The bait is just perfect, and Calix sets it up nicely. He's just sitting there like a piece of candy, essentially, and being pushed in.
Peanut is going to go for this dragon here, despite the fact that scuttle control is not theirs. I think this is wise, as we're going for an all-in.
Yeah, the dive is pretty good, but the flash on in, the last auto gets it done, and he trades onto Lulu. Gio's going to hold on to his flash, though.
Yeah, I think that's a win, though, for Hanwha Life. I mean, Lehens gets the kill with the Ignite, and it's a Rumble that gets the kill in exchange there. So, you know, if that kill goes over to Gio, I think this feels a lot better. He is definitely playing towards that late game with the cull he's purchased here, and that would have been a lot of money for him to pick up, but he's not quite able to do so. Zeus still had TP as well, so gets straight back to the lane here and can shove this wave in. Real quickly, the grubs are still available. Topside control is potentially flipping on its head, as Zeus is in trouble.
Yeah, he doesn't have flash, and he's going up against the polymorph, so I think he knows he's dead at this point. And there it goes. They give the kill over to Jiwoo. You saw that he got level 6, and he was thinking about putting down the equalizer, but he didn't.
So nicely timed gank there from Gideon.
Yeah, we'll play here. Some trading as Delight is just walking by, and now Calix in a bit of trouble. He doesn't have his flash, and yep, 1 QW gets it done. As the command attack in there.
It's really important for Zeka to have a lane-dominant performance like this, especially after dying early, to continue that prio to set these plays up. Viper will have to flash.
Yeah, just kind of walking into the river, and he's going to get punished for this big time. No flash, no ult, and the kill is given over to Kingen on the Gwen.
Not sure what the idea was there. He's punished for it, and also, like you said, loses his ult. So both of his safety tools gone. His ult will come back before his flash, but that's a huge win for Gnomeshim, who are significantly ahead in gold here in this early game.
Yeah, you can see their bottom lane is doing very, very well, especially after that kill that went on to Viper. He's denied some farm. And, of course, the kill and the assist that went to Yunara, Jiu, who was making some plays up in top lane against Zeus. Got a little dive here. That ward is going to spot the Lulu. And I think they're still going to go for it. It is Wukong and okay, it's just everybody. Instead of accept the Rumble, as they go on in, they just dive on into the mist. The Lulu ult's getting some big value there. The Light able to tank up a bunch of the shots, but that power-up on the turret is pretty significant. Now Viper is going to finish him off, as now Lehen's in a bit of trouble, but these turret shots are doing a lot of damage. Will it matter is really the question.
Looks like a flash. They have to be careful.
Eventually, Lehens, I think, just dies. As, yep, there he goes. Peanut is going to trade, but now they have a lot of position here and pressure in the top lane.
Yeah, but somehow, yeah, knew Gideon was bottom, I think, which is why they made this play in the first place. It took a very long time, by the way, as we're looking for this again on the Zeus.
Yeah, I think he's just dead again. He doesn't have his flash. He's just picking up minions and dying. I mean, he's 1 and 4. And Gideon continues to visit the Zeus OPLoLReplay esports composition. That's where it's really going to shine.
Yeah, it'd be funny if this game was actually just decided by Gideon and everyone's like, see, I guess Yunara's viable in the LCK.
Yeah, must
Gideon
be.
got 3 kills early. As they're going to get this turret, it looks like here. Not really much King can do to stop it. Does get the redemption out, but it still goes down.
Yeah, and now he's getting knocked up, and the exhaust comes through. Shockwave as well. Counter exhaust comes in from Kingen, but he just doesn't have his ult. He doesn't have enough sustained damage. Another redemption going to come down. Tries to get the kill on the Delight, but eventually he just dies instead. As Kingen going a little bit too far there.
Kingen is definitely one of those players that, even on a fragile champion like Rumble we've seen in the past, he will try to skill check you. He's like, oh yeah, no, actually I outplay this if you guys think you can get the turret. Even on this Gwen though, unfortunately, he played it really well, but maybe the better choice would have been to back away. As, oh boy.
Gideon.
Like, slow down at the railroad crossing and like, take a look out the window. Calix is going to get ulted. He is dead.
Yeah, he tried to rocket belt out of the shockwave. It didn't quite work out. Delight did nearly die, but keyword being nearly there. He is going to stay alive and help make the play happen.
I mean, they got the first turret. They're 1 objective away from feats, and they're going to get the second turret here for them of this game. So a lot of gold here. for the side of Hanwha Life Esports. Remember, they were significantly behind in the early game, but they've really turned things around. May have to try to make a heroic play to stop this Dragon, Valdez, because Nongshim are just on this so quick. They just do not stop it.
They got vision, and he was like, should I? And then he just elected not to. It wasn't good in the lane, but it also is going to be fantastic against all the dive. It keeps your Yunara in a much safer place. Calix, he keeps trying to do that. It's not going to work once again. And now we got Gideon. We got the redemption as well. Lahen's here as well. Will it matter, though? Calix goes down, and now we got a 1v1 between our AD carries. Viper soon realizing that he does not win that. And now TP's coming in. A bit of a broken team fight as a flash. But it's not going to amount to too much as Equalizer comes down. Gideon is just burning so low. GU looking for his angle, though, on the left side. Doing an insane amount of damage with these autos. And HLE immediately just going to try to back away. Maybe looking for the re-engage here as Zeka trying to TP. He's going to get out, actually. Even with the auto coming through, looks like he does live. No TP for Zeus, so maybe trying to burst this one down. But again, this is very difficult, especially because GU doesn't have summoners. And he's getting flanked on right now. It is going to hit GU. They try to engage onto Isaiah. And now Zeka on the left is in a bit of trouble, but the rest of the team is just pressing forward. And Yunara is the first one to go down. This is exactly what we talked about. They just press their engage buttons, and Yunara has no summoners, and they're doing Otacon for some reason. I don't know, Wolf. HLE get a free team fight, and it looks like they'll get a free Otacon too.
Yeah, it's going to reset here for a second, so we'll be annoying, but it should eventually go down towards this Dragon, but it's only a matter of time. TP here for Kingen. Zeus is just going to take the walk over. And that TP angle not great here for Kingen, but here comes the Calix flank.
Yeah, trying to go in once again. The engagement delight is excellent, and the shockwave follow-up is gigantic, just catches everyone. And nobody has summoners. GU still doesn't have his. It's just the perfect situation for HLE's comp once again. Kind of beating a dead horse at this point, but you guys get it. GU now left alone to, well, who's going to get the kill? It will be Peanut. And he is going to get it. So 2 team fights in a row. HLE just knock out of the park. But my team is calling for this fight. Lahen's, yeah, well. Lahen's also understanding his duty, which apparently was to run into the dark jungle and try to get vision alone as Lulu.
Yeah, that's the thing about Lulu is when you're losing the game, you're not really going to get the vision back.
Yeah.
In most cases. Yeah, they got womboed. The anti-flank wasn't it. They played that last Dragon fight like they were trying to pull some trickery and be like, aha, I got him with the flank engage. I'm like, but you're playing a Yunara comp. Maybe just keep the anti nearby so you can peel. You need all the peel you can get.
Yeah.
As this is a Baron that Nongshim knows happening but can't physically see, and so they have to kind of come over here. Gideon does not have flash, so I don't...
Gideon is the one guy that they are worried about, and now he's just kind of out of the picture. Lahen's nearly dies, actually, to the burn, saved by Redemption. I mean, Nongshim are down 10,000 gold at this point, so...
Hail Mary play on Baron like Gideon was there, so... Yeah. Twins all but over, Valdez.
Yeah, for sure. I do feel like Viper probably could have played whatever he wanted in this game. You were talking about his Teemo. Maybe not Teemo in this one. I think he would have had a really tough time in the lane, but still. Gonna get the Feather Storm out, and immediately the rest of the team is there to follow up. Zeus will go down, but it will not quite matter. Kingdom in the back line, but the wallets are just way too heavy at this point. And even making it kind of a close fight, given the gold lead. Nice job by Nongshim, but this game has been over for quite a while.
It's really funny how you mentioned Viper playing this pick, and then, like, at that moment he was probably, no, those are pretty good with they're pressing the R on this one.
Yeah, I like the Xayah.
I do like the Xayah angle. He does ultimately die, but man, he absorbed a lot there, and the rest of his team cleaned up. At the end of the day, Hanwha Life Esports, maybe with a rocky early game, there's some issues in the side lanes, but with a 10,000 plus gold lead, do clean it out. I do think that the draft for Nongshim is stronger. Yeah, I think it has a lot more synergy. It has tons of pressure with the Jace inside. You have Sivir's wave clear, and you can show up to fight anybody at any time. I think Chronicler may have somewhat of a parasocial relationship with Malphite.
Wow. Calling him out. Oh, love that taunt. Pulls him back in. Peanut is still going to flash and is still going to die, giving the first blood over to Kingen.
That is massive. Peanut is going to, with this leader back here for Kingen and no TP, get a free dragon because of that gank, right? Like, he ganks mid, Calix has to flash him back, bottom side, Zeus is there faster. So Peanut is the winner of that. That's a big win here for Hanwha Life Esports. No one going to come over and even peek at this dragon.
Well, you take a little peek with the ward.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, with their eyes. Like, no one's going to even, like, reach over them and be like, is there a possibility of this? No.
Yeah. He agrees, actually. So that's, yeah, he just flag dragged over the wall.
If that fear goes off, he's, like, not able to flag drag there.
Can he be here, though? I don't know. And totally just disrespecting the potential vision. Peanut will get punished.
You know, Krugs are solid, but they're not quite a turret. Peanut does have that smite back up here, so he should be able to secure at least one. Actually, kind of a low-value play there from Nongshim.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like they're quite in the right spot. Now we got the root coming down and the Kaisa to join, and the Talia on top. Lehens, no flash, used it in the kill on the Peanut. And a nice setup here from Delight.
Without the Nocturne ultimate, I suppose they just really thought that taking that fight was going to be too risky straight up, so they wanted to kind of cheat it by pushing Sivir into the top lane and pushing Viper out, then returning, but they were just a little bit too slow, and Delight pulled the trigger super fast there. Really will be able to take that dragon. For now, Delight does have flash ult, but there's just no follow-up here. So they will get away with this, they will get the dragon. I feel like that was a lot closer to a win for Hanwha Life Esports than needed to be outside of, obviously, the big win they got getting the flash there for Geo. Nongshim playing on the edge.
Just going to run over to his Raptors.
It's hard for Zeka to take the right engage angle here with his Weaver's Wall. It's a really challenging problem he's going to have to try to solve here, and I don't know if that's quite it. Will cut off some of the Nongshim members temporarily.
Yeah, that TP coming in, HLE committing to this one. The taunt comes down and Peanut can't do anything. He just kind of dies as the engage is decent, but it's still looking good for Nongshim until Viper gets into that backline, assassinates two, but now he's getting pretty low, and Nongshim, the rest of the team is just so healthy. Calyx frontlining on this rise. Maybe he gets punished by Zeus a little bit, but no, Zeus gonna get baited on in, and Gio untouched the entire fight. Will be able to help the double kill go the way of Kingen.
Looking like this one might be headed to 3 Valdez after that fight.
Fight for that, especially because Peanut kind of got chunked a little bit earlier by the Shen and the Sivir. So they go for it, and ultimately it ends up being pretty good for Nongshim. As everybody grouping down on the bottom side, Nongshim TPing into this one, but the Cataclysm comes down and Kingen's just dead. And now we got a TP coming in here, but Calyx not able to do much, has to back away. Paranoia already used.
Yeah, that's not the side lane champion I'd be paranoiaing into.
He's just kind of running into the enemy team. He's going to go down. Could have ran south with Calyx. Instead, he decided not to.
Calyx also probably going to have a problem getting out here against this.
What did they mean by this, Wolf? I want you to break it down. There's no play-by-play here. It's just 3 people individually dying for Nongshim.
I mean, they're going to get maybe an inner on the commitment there from Hanwha. And Hanwha actually have no turrets this game, so you can see it taking a while to get that one. This is not going to be a back-breaking win for Hanwha, but definitely shrinks the deficit. Look, you have silent pressure, you have a Nocturne, you feel pretty good about, like, let's use that, you know? But it's better into a squishier champ. Oh, man.
Lehens.
Lehens, man, he was once a not-licensed haver, but he is, in fact, like, now going to be in the LCK F1.
Yeah.
Need a TP, and I'm like, well, I mean, come on, like, let's not waste it.
Just run there.
Gideon's in,
this keeps happening. Gideon just kind of getting caught out. We do have the Paranoia, but that's another kill going over to Viper, and he's looking for number 2. Not quite going to get it. Oh, now he's going in, gets the kill, flashes away, and immediately dies. Gideon is there for at least the alley-oop kill, but it looks cool.
If you're running the IG skin, I think you have to go for it. So,
yeah, no, you have to. Spirit of Jackie Love.
Yeah, Jackie Love would have gone for it. Delight.
Yeah, okay, they're going for the engage, but this looks pretty good for Nongshim, although Cassante does exist. Trying to take down Zeka, and not quite able to, actually. They do get Delight, but that's just the support. Zeus does pick up a kill and effectively gets away, so a bit of a trade of kills there.
They are just simply going to give this up. The fear, I suppose, is if you try to collapse in mid to try to punish that Sivir push, you probably get ulted on and you have a bad time because they were a little bit split there. I think that call from Gio and Nongshim was really good. That's the power of Sivir in these types of, you know, neutral fights where you're fighting over vision. And Zeka, I mean, it looks like they're going to just force this turret down for the second of the game. I think there's no reason to try to hard all in on this because guess what? There is, in fact, a Cassante here. Nongshim. I don't know about this one.
Were you revving your engines?
No, like the Talia wasn't showing, so they didn't know where Zeka was, and he could have TP'd behind or something. But like, if they tried to play towards pushing the Tilly out, maybe look for a Baron. And in fact, because of these split backs here, there is kind of a timing.
Yeah, they're just gonna go in on the Delight. I think he just dies. Very unfortunate for him there. Zeus also gonna TP into this one. Giant Shock Blast gonna hit Viper. The wall's coming in as Helmaleif say, we are committed.
Go straight to Baron.
And Nongshim will take a big win after that mistake.
There's a flash, and he is Jarvan.
There's no way they're gonna take.
They have to turn
3v5, right? That's the knockback though. In they go, they burst down one essentially, as the shield is huge though, and in goes Viper, immediately gonna cleanse, trying to do this 1v5. And eventually Calyx just is going to take him down. That's the end of that. Zeka though doing a lot of damage. I think they still get the Baron here though, as there you have it. Smoked down by Gideon. As HLE looking very desperate here.
You know, when we were at EWC, we talked to Finn, you know, quite a bit, Meteos, Peanut.
We didn't talk to Peanut too much.
We didn't talk to Peanut that much. He was unfortunately sent home early. But as Baron is taken, so guess what? I mean, we're pushing inners. And Hanwha could have just looked for the Jarvan 50-50 because, you know, pit access is pretty good. But now they gave even more. As Hanwha Life Esports are going to try to wrap around and take a mid-outer in return. But remember, this is a global comp here for Nongshim, so Hanwha do push that mid-turret and then decide it's too dangerous.
That's very scary. Barrier and flash used by two of the members of Nongshim.
I think without that paranoia, they probably are likely going to collapse onto him, but when the lights get turned off, it's a little bit tricky. As
flash on in from Zeka, wanted to get the flip back.
High enough to where they'll peel off Baron and at least try to force some poke here. Then they could run back or even Realm Warp back to the Baron, but they want to fight, it looks like. And Zeus is now isolated.
Yep, just kind of priced into this one at this point. Nongshim have to go for it as everything is looking at the backline, but the Smite comes in, and Calyx goes in by himself, but it's actually a genius move as it distracts them. Delight's gonna go down. Calyx in a bit of trouble here, perhaps, but he just blasts away. In go Viper and his top laner, doing a ton of damage here. Gideon goes down. Nobody can get on top of Viper until this very moment. Jiwoo might just be able to do it as Viper goes invisible, but it's not quite enough. And Zeus, even with the Chemtech Soul, is not going to survive at the very end.
That
Nongshim
play, so survivable, gets to go golden there, and that play actually baits them. They go in with Paranoia at the same time. It's so hard to pick off that rise, and Hanwha Life get cut off by a Realm Warp flank as Delight looks to try to defend.
Yeah, just trying to clear the wave with that ult. Looks a little bit silly, but that's what they gotta do. They're tanking up the turret. They don't have a wave. They're all super low. I don't know about this one, Nongshim. Oh, he was so close to losing his GA too.
He's on the edge, and Hanwha Life with a turnaround.
Look at Calyx. He's running mid. He wants to Realm Warp. He's pinging it. He wants to Realm Warp in.
They only have 2 minions here.
I mean, if they get in there, you know, it's going to be huge. The rest of the team just trying to stop them from backing, and successful for now. The Realm Warp's coming in, and now TP's utilized. I think they might be a little bit too late, but let's see. The Cataclysm comes down. They just got to hit the Nexus, but the double stun comes in from Zeka, and the damage is not there for Nongshim. HLE clean it up, and they stop the gambit from Nongshim.
I just don't think this was the right call in any scenario. You lost, really, we messed up when you went for the end instead of the Baron, trying to stop those backs against Baron-empowered recalls with the comp here from Hanwha Life. This is just not going to work. They don't have ways to stop the TP. And, I mean, I get the idea behind this. If they had a huge wave, maybe. But instead, they just get stopped. And Hanwha Life Esports will win the game in the end off of some really questionable decision-making here from Nongshim.
It was so close to Wolf. The Nexus was like half health. Oh, man.
That's a tragic loss.
It's a couple of games in a row where I felt like Nongshim were in a very good spot, and they just couldn't get it done. As in goes Gideon, might be able to take out the... Nope, he's not going to be able to. That's going to do it, guys. HLE, they get the victory from the jaws of defeat. Just at the very, very end, as Nongshim go for a very tight play. It nearly works out, but HLE are just that little bit better. It just felt like BNK were in control of this draft the entire time. You know?
I mean, Bro's draft feels like it was so good 2.5 weeks ago. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, back then we were like, oh yeah, Trundle's peak right now.
Gonna have a lot of these repeat matchups because we have the same teams playing each other 3 times instead of 2 in the new format.
Vikla not quite hitting most of those.
Krako is angry. And they're going to get the flash out of Vikla, if not the kill. Yeah, they're just going to get the kill. That is a very strong Trundle just running at them and pressing Q.
And they're like, whoa, okay.
Whoa.
Vikla's going to miss some minions here, but will ultimately back away. It's a win for them. They didn't get the kills, but they get the top objective. Krako will get this Drake in return. But that was a lot of farm lost for Hype. He won't lose either summoner. He isn't going to die, but I still think in terms of who wins out on the tempo, it's BNK.
But he got the heal and the flash out of Hype, actually. So that's pretty good.
Here, I mean, they have a stacked wave. Hold on, Hype.
Yeah, oh, Hype's in a lot of trouble here. And look at Paulo, he's like, yeah, you're dead. You're dead, buddy. I can't do anything to save you. So a 4-man dive here, gonna get our second kill of the game 13 minutes in.
I mean, it was not the most flashy tempo ghost, but and in fact, I mean, they can, with this wave, take the whole turret. 3 grubs.
Grubs.
I mean, that is gonna be first brick and a feat of strength.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
However, double dragon. First double dragon.
First double dragon on the LCK.
Yeah.
Coming through. After the official renaming of the concept.
Boom, double dragon.
Double dragon secured. And that is right before a Mountain Soul. So we're gonna get another one of these.
Okay, you try to take me out. I'm gonna have such a free setup. And you can see it even in this angle here, like, Engage is so tricky with his comp. Equalizer might just be enough to deny them entry.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have a way through. They're going to try it with the pillar. There's the problem as well. It's just Vikla who has to flash. They're going to go all in on the Vikla, but the seismic shove is huge to knock them back. And Vikla is saved for a very long amount of time. Raptor is going to pick up the eye, but he will pay for it. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, Clear and Diablo getting the work here, but they went a little bit too far as now the sweep goes in on a Clear. He's doing a ton of damage. He's still alive. Clear lives, and Diablo finally is taken out, and it looks like big boy Trundle made his way back. That's a quadra kill for Trundle 16 minutes into the game.
Looked like a winnable fight there for BNK. Diablo lived for so long, but he's just still sitting on that Bork. Doesn't have the damage to hard carry the fight. You know, you don't have enough damage to actually stop us from running at you. This is a weird trap here, but it might just work.
Yeah, didn't expect him in the brush after checking. The Braum coming in as well, and there's the Lucian. So much pressure up here from the side of Bro, but there is a Rift Herald elsewhere. They're gonna get Kellen, so that's 2 kills for the side of, oh, and he's gonna deny it. Very nicely done here by Krako. For now, the subjugation is gonna come down as well as they're going in on the Krako. I don't think that's gonna work. To Vikla, who's not quite having the same impact. Of course, he has gotten bullied a little bit in some of these fights. And BNK are going to get this. They knew that this was started. So BNK have to get in. Can they do it? The equalizer's pretty good. Now a wall's going to come down and, well, he gets here, kind of zones his team, but that's fine. He lowers it. Now Morgan going on in. The target is Morgan for some reason. He is super tanky, and they just turn off of this one. A giant sweep comes in, but still a ton of damage. Look at Diablo, totally untouched on the backside. And Bro are so low after all that damage, and that just means they get absolutely shredded. Clear as well. It's burning them to a crisp.
It's another Bro fight where they're just victims of the re-engages. Krako has a turret here.
He's so tanky. Oh, he's going to go down, and the shutdown goes over to Vikla. They also get the Otacon, little bonus buff here.
Spirit Visage into Talia and Rumble feels pretty good when you're 5 kills and you got that turret and there's no wave, but ultimately there's just too many BNK members here. Down he will go. When I watched that Bro DNF series, the equalizer for BNK allowed them to have that opportunity to fight.
This is such a Rise Group gold
It
crap.
is. It's the convection I was
kind of all over.
about.
It's the convection, except it's happening in the game as well as outside in terms of the whole LCK.
Yeah, right now Valdez is at the sweaty part.
Convection within a convection. We're like really getting deep now.
Here does best. You Sundisk the outer, pressure the mid, inner while your team contests Prio. This is going to force Vikla over, but he's so slow that he gets nothing. You will have to just hold back in, but BNK just running circles around Bro here on the objective setup instead.
Nice equalizer. Actually, is a zoning equalizer. And I think because Talia gets there first as well, just the whole team was already turning around, so.
Going straight into LDR on the 3rd item. Got the Executioner's Calling there as well. And with this build,
certainly does feel like the tempo vibes are heavily in favor of BNK, where it just feels like they're in total control of this game, even though they're not that far ahead. Like, there are still ways for Bro with, by the way, the Ornn and the ornaments. You know, they can easily make up for that gold difference that BNK have in the lead. But the vibes are there as now we get the Engage onto that front line. Hype in a lot of trouble. He's just going to go down. That's what the Engage does. But Diablo also in a bit of trouble, but he is finally peeled for as Johnny will go. The seismic shove on a 2 is gigantic as well. Vikla, tons of damage from this Talia at the moment. And he's going to make it count. He's going to make them hurt. As now going on in, they're reconning that back line, and the comp is doing what it says on the tin. BNK go in and engage and take down 4.
Forward here, so he knows he can do the loop-de-loop, but ultimately he's not contesting Baron. His team is wiped, and so it won't matter. BNK in a 6,000 gold lead, not to mention the sole point they should be able to pick up by default with the prio the Baron gives. And I just can't see them slipping up from here.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very likely, especially with a comp like this, unless we go like maybe another 10 minutes. Like, if Bro could hold on somehow. The issue is that they're in a BNK, right? Bro, a relatively passive team, but BNK, especially when they feel like they're winning, they are kind of like the Vibes team, the Tempo Vibes team, where it's like, if they feel like the tempo's on their side, they're just gonna go in all the time, even if sometimes it's not a good idea. Type, he gets slowed up, there's the equalizer. And now he doesn't exist anymore.
If you hit that arc, I mean, the slow is so insane that if you're behind like that, you will just get chunked down. There's no counterplay except to just splash if you get hit. He does not, and he will lose all of his health bar as a result, and that is just an inhibitor going down, and potentially more as they now collapse onto this bottom inhibitor here. Vikla has his Weaver's Wall back, so they can just straight up siege it.
Yeah, very nicely done. Good plays here from the side of BNK, and the shove is good once again after the stun follow-up. Very nicely done here. Only 3 guys left on the side of Bro, as Morgan gonna cancel that one, but he's still going down. And we'll just see how much extra damage they can add to their post-game breakdown stats graph, because that's all these players care about. They know they already won the game. It's 11,000 ahead, and down will go the Nexus. BNK will take game number 1. So you can kind of play both sides as Bard often does. And if the Maokai ultimate is coming in, you can kind of play around that. It's good into Jax, stuff like that. But
You're just so squishy, though. Safe than sorry.
Good idea. Good idea.
Better safe than sorry, as Vikla's going to have to flash to pull the Maokai.
Yeah, flash to pull him in. I don't know if it's going to work out. Krako just flashes away himself, and now your mid laner's down a flash. And speaking of which, we're getting in on OPLo, as now Diablo isolated a little bit, but he's just okay with the E coming in from the Varus. Not enough damage. Rook comes in on a hype, but no follow-up here. Kind of a ring around the rosy.
You know, now we can kind of fight back. We'll be starting to make an impact soon. Clear. I mean, he is walking a tightrope in this game. He's going to engage with Raptor.
He's going in on a Krako. Raptor is here. And in goes the Raptor on a Krako himself. TP is coming in, but that's going to be very slow from a Bard. Might not matter. It's just a straight-up 2v2. Oh, that's totally going to miss. Another Counter-Strike comes in. And yes, Kellen will arrive, and it looks like they should be able to trade it back, as Kellen steals the kill, unfortunately. Definitely didn't want to, but still, it's a trade 1-for-1. Kellen did have to TP.
Yeah, that's a little bizarre there, but ultimately, it happens when you want to secure the kill. You're hyper-focused in that moment. Yep. Diablo is... He still has cleanse, so he's going to be fine about it so well. And then Bard stole the kill, so it's a win for Bro, but I liked how Clear was thinking on that one.
Yeah, he did a great job. That's how you got to play on Bessa. You got to be playing on a tightrope, essentially, at times. And it can be very anxiety-inducing. Kellen's over here. Just clearing out vision. They're going to get the 1 Grub. Grub's not having a very big impact in some of these games that we've seen.
It's pretty good for Jax, you know, on a knife's edge, how close a Rise group game is that you just don't see in Legend, you know? That's why Rise games are more fun.
Counter-Strike is down. Clear finding the angle, but not quite confident to dive the turret, not just yet.
Yeah, not even confident to grab that plate on his own autos. We'll let the minions do it. Shield, very powerful.
Going back in is Morgan, just baiting them into using their abilities, yeah.
Such a magical journey he took.
Yeah. All right, going in on the Xin Zhao. Tons of damage into Krako, though. Look at that. But meanwhile, Closer's getting isolated on the right side. So a trade 1-for-1.
An additional longsword. So think wait.
No way. No way!
Well, he hit that one. He hit that one, becomes lightning. Vikla is the target here.
Oh, Temper Fate gonna help him a little bit, but the follow-up pretty good. It's Nico, it's Yone, and it's a Maokai. Apollo though will be traded back, so nicely done. Kellen just getting even more fed. Look at him, he's 3-0-1.
Yeah, Kellen is actually just
Sakari. Big Bard fans over here.
He also doesn't have Unsealed Spellbook. He's so limited, though. This is a pretty risky hold of this Herald here by BNK. They're going to have to give up control.
Oh, that Shockwave, though. The damage is insane. And now the shots coming through from Diablo are pretty good, but the steal here on the Rift Herald is going to be good as well. Raptor goes down. That's another kill for Morgan. Picks up the Bard. And Morgan just going to walk away from this one as we have the emote down. Clear as well, running away from 2. Can he trade one back is really the question. The ult comes through for closure, and the shot from Hype is enough to put him in the ground. So Bro finally gets something here.
Bro finally with a big swing back to become a real threat. Up until this point has kind of just been playing in the mid lane as Kellen. Just Bard things.
Yeah, just Bard things. He's... All right, well, he's dead now. I can't believe they actually tried to do that.
Bard ult.
They did not have to do that at all.
Bard ult and Shockwave for Flash. And also Bard Life for Flash. Not sure about that one. It did look cool.
It, in theory, was going to be awesome.
If there's one person,
Instead, it was that.
If there's one person in the world who approves of it, I bet it's Beryl. But I was like, no, that's actually the optimal play.
Yeah, no, that's the best play. Sure. Absolutely. Raptor smites the Rift Herald, gets level 11 off of it. Yes, indeed. Big gold swing. Now they're going to go back on Apollo here. There's the Tempered Fate. And, well, the Jhin is not going to hit, but everybody else is here, and they used quite a lot. As Kellen gets another kill.
They have tons of mid-prio. This kind of works. And I think this time there's just simply no way for BNK to know.
Yeah.
They have no vision anywhere. Like, look at the mid lane. That's what happens when you have Varus on that mid-prio against a Jhin. You're just like, well, anything can be happening on the map. You'll just never know.
Very sneaky from the side of Pro. They're going to take it down, and this Otacon take so much cleaner, and that's the guy. He's ripping the sign!
Towards the rest of his team instead of looking for that play. Ult here from Varus.
Yeah, this is onto a Xin Zhao, so Raptor just holding onto his ult for very long. Now he's going to use it, but still a lot of damage into the Xin Zhao as Kellen is just dead. Clears here on the flank, and there's no one really to follow up on it as he is very alone. Is going to ult on it. Does actually a ton of damage, but that was just to the Nico. So, Bro, nice setup here.
Their second dragon of the game, Morgan, going to grab a whole turret as well. And the Jax that was bullied in the early game now has 4 kills. Prediction not correct there. Not everyone can be Chronicler hype, but it's a good angle he took either way.
First Mountain Drake, and they've got a pretty healthy gold lead. And it doesn't really feel like BNK are on the same page. Now we're going to have another Bard gank, as that is a very nice binding, but you can see they're still pretty apprehensive about this. If you're going to go for this play, this is a good timing, as there's no Baron at the moment. And I think eventually Morgan just gets kited out, although he is very strong. Temper Fate.
I don't know if that's actually helpful. Like, they're buying more time, actually, to get more value top side.
Well, the ult's going to miss. Morgan is going 1v4 at the moment. He does finally get taken out. The kill goes over to Raptor.
They get 2
and they
for this.
Over 2 kills. Not worth.
No. Can they get more? Hype is just walking over blindly?
Wait.
The self-slow?
Raptor, he's in there. The damage is done. 883 gold given over to the Xin Zhao. Vikla gonna get rooted even though he didn't have to. In goes the Yone, and it doesn't matter. He gets taken down. And BNK rolling their way into so many bonus kills.
Yeah, bonus barrier was just the start of the combo. And ended up getting a lot out of this. So Morgan has respawn and does have TP.
They're gonna get Baron.
I don't think they can stop this. There's just no way. Apollo has flash, but he doesn't have ult. And I think maybe if he did, they do something, try to do something silly with the Jax TP, but without the Pop Blossom, there's just no way to make anything happen here, and they're just gonna have to concede the Baron. There's 2 turrets, really, really intelligently played. Just don't know if at the end of the day it's going to matter on some of these big team fights, because they got those kills, they got Baron, but they haven't broken open the base. They haven't even gotten really Brio on the map, you know? And
yeah,
that's what I'm a little bit concerned about here for BNK.
Well, it's just a little bonus Baron, you know? Little stimulus pack. They just get like a little influx of gold. They flip it around, you know?
They got that top turret. And mid turret? Almost. Ooh. Almost. Almost. Click on that turret. How much health has he got?
17. I don't know, actually. I'm just
guessing.
I
was like, where'd you see that?
Oh, I've got my in-game PC right here. No, not quite.
It'd be insane if it's actually 17. Somebody out there, let us know. I mean, now it's possible to check, right? Bro, just gonna 67 was the.
I got the 7 right. Yeah. I just couldn't see the 6. It just looked a little. Yeah.
Ah! Shadow him with Croco. As Raptor, if he's forced ult here, this would be really bad.
At least he gets the ward. I mean, the saplings are beginning to do some damage too.
This angle here as well for Croco is kind of insane.
Yeah, Croco has a very nice angle. Raptor in it, but look at the damage there on a closer. Big engage comes out for the Nico, but there's no follow-up except Morgan, as he is doing an insane amount of damage actually, and will get that damage down. But look at Clear and Raptor 2v2, and Clear especially. The fact that everything was focused on a Morgan and Clear totally survived means that BNK come out ahead.
Yeah, BNK, despite everything, like Diablo's positioning in that fight, by the way, I don't think he could have played that better.
Well, Raptor was, he was on the dragon, so they say maybe we can just do this. I don't think you can just do this, but let's see.
Is eventually going to get here. That's going to slow things down.
Yeah, and goes Morgan, gonna get a flash out here, and the Nico follow-up, the double knock-up, but can they get this damage into Raptor and clear the frontliners? It's looking pretty good for Bro at this point in time, and there's the follow-up ult on in, but closer, he's gonna pay the iron price, and now the GA comes out here from Raptor, still alive somehow. There's a 4th shot gonna hit the clone, and Bro say, well, we're pretty low, I don't think we can do Baron anymore.
Yeah, I don't think they can. He does not have Smite at the ready.
Yeah.
He's exhaust.
It's just no Smite. You have Maokai. I feel like it's pretty free. A little ult on a Kellen. Gonna get the flash away from him. So Baron secured by Bro.
Even point, Croco could just use his ultimate for Siege. They need to be respectful.
Okay, Raptor's just fine. And yeah, I think Bro get this one for sure. And so do BNK. So they're gonna back away. I mean, give up the 1.
It's huge that they get to do it without either Croco or Closer pulling the trigger. And usually if they pull the trigger, you back away, they get the turret. Now they're like, well, maybe we do it on the next turret. A little bit tougher in the base. Maokai ultimate early here.
All right, the
corner wants to jump
through. Gonna get the flash on in. Bigla's gonna survive though, and Morgan, so much of the gold and so much of the damage is so low as he goes golden. Very important. The follow-up with the Nico is big. Morgan's still alive, and he actually gets away. Clear's flank gets thwarted, and Bro, they handle it very nicely. Paulo though, is gonna kind of die for, I'm not so sure. BNK
caught out there, but I mean, with the damage here from Hype,
I think they just get it. They
should be able to. Raptor can't get the steal.
Ooh, but the ball goes in. The shockwave is pretty good. He's got GA, so the fight still might go over to BNK. Looking for a bit more. Croco looks like he's down as you see Degon, the live cam as Bro are falling. It's okay, bro, Degon. They got the Mountain Soul.
Ooh, that dodge.
And it's not over just yet. We'll see if it's over from here. I
mean, I think
they're going to try to end, though.
I think there's definitely a real end angle here.
Knowing BNK, they will try.
The TP is committed to, I mean, BNK, they're up 1 in the series. They're going to go for it.
Oh, the Mountain Soul trade for Nexus. Will it happen?
It's almost back up. It's up now.
Yeah, you can see the TP coming in. They're going to try to keep this wave alive. And Raptor says, okay, get away from me. I just want to kill this. As Paulo goes in, doesn't hit anything, and actually, the ult here from the side of Clear is going to catch the Jax, and that will be the nail in the coffin. They clear up Bro, and it's the Mountain Soul for Nexus trade. No 5-gamer here tonight. It's just BNK looking strong once again.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.